Hi there, everybody. My name is Brody Johnson with MCFC, and I'm here speaking with.
Ethan Soderstrom.
Nice. Well, we're speaking about April 27th, and you'll be fighting on MCFC's card. What do you think about that?
Pretty excited about it. This is gonna be a pretty good step in the road ahead for my MMA journey.
hmm So, what do you think about your opponent, and what you got to do in the 2 months time you got until fight night?
Yeah. So I'm always, whenever I get an opponent, I'm always excited for a fight that's gonna be a good fight. And I think my opponent, it's gonna be that. It's not gonna be one where it's a boring fight or it's a quick, something real quick happens because it's super one sided. I think this is gonna be a nice banger of a fight, and it's gonna get the crowd is gonna definitely get the money worth. I'm always looking to have a war, so I think I'm gonna get that. So I'm tickled pink about that. So as long as he's also about that, then I'm sure he's super pumped as well.
Yeah, tickle pink, nice. I haven't heard that in a long time, and I talk to old people all the time, man.
Youngest of 8 kids, man. So I've heard all the slang.
Yeah, right. I'm the oldest too, so I just every time you hear a slang you don't hear very much, you kind of perk up.
Yeah.
Nice. So what do you? So you're fighting on April 27th, and you're fighting an opponent that actually fought for us before. Like, what do you think about that, and what do you think that you could show that maybe he hasn't seen before?
Um, from watching film and watching his opponents, I just and I don't not to toot my own horn, but I would say I'm a little higher caliber than what he's fought. I would like to say that my fight style is a little bit more creative, and that's going off of what he hasn't seen before. I would say that's going to be the biggest thing. It there's going to be anything I could throw out there. I like a little mix of everything. I just enjoy the fight game. So as much as I can use of the different styles that are out there from mixed martial arts, I try to do so. So
Nice. Well, you said you enjoy the fight game. How about training? How's that training going so far?
good, man, good. I embrace the grind about as well as a person could. I think I've wrestled my entire life since preschool, um, and so yeah, my body doesn't. If I take time off, my body revolts on me. So
hmm
like I start getting achy and stuff. So like my body pretty much feeds off of the grind and training and constantly banging the anvil. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, fight camps are nothing new to me. Like I said, I've wrestled my entire life. Every week in wrestling is a fight camp, basically.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I love it every second of it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wrestled for a long time too, kindergarten through 12th grade. Dad always said his famous line was, "You're gonna wrestle until you like it." So we really
Yeah,
didn't have a choice. And you remind me a lot of dudes like that, exactly. Like it
yeah.
just feels like I'm in the wrestling room again talking to you, talking about guys that are enjoying the grind and stuff like that. I always when I'm doing cardio, that's something that I always kind of repeat that kind of stuff. Just like, you
Mhm.
just get these little lines that from wrestling that are always gonna be stuck in your head for a
Will
long
stick
time.
with you forever. Yeah.
Yeah, how can it not? And I can't,
Um,
I've never been in an MMA fight, but
mhm.
I would love to know. Like, I can imagine saying something like that. Like, we're just a little bit tough. I say we, but we all know that wrestlers, it's one of the better bases to start in MMA. So it's
100%.
got to be a nice, it's just got to be a nice little something in the back pocket you can always pull out whenever you need to.
Yeah. Well, because you look at all the other martial arts, and most of them, it's it's more of a discipline thing with like your techniques and stuff. But
Mhm.
when it comes down to like the actual grind of like being in fighting, closest thing is I would say as wrestlers, we would do that forever. You
Mhm.
know, some things that adults, excuse me, something that adults aren't seeing. They can do martial arts, like let's say Taekwondo or something their entire life.
Mhm.
But until you get into MMA, you won't see that grind or that fight camp. Well, like I said a little bit ago, like I've wrestled my whole life. I've done
Mhm.
fight camps pretty much every single week forever.
Mhm.
um, so every day in a wrestler's world it's 100%. It's hard. It's grinding. Um, yeah, man. And I've told so I ran a wrestling club for a while for about 4 years, and I told all my wrestlers or anybody that came to me, I'm like, wrestling, whether you like it or not, or even if you're good at it, it's going to beat you up.
Oh,
I'm like, so you have to wrestle if you want to wrestle. I'm like, if you're wrestling for somebody else, it's gonna chew you up and spit you out. I'm
mhm.
like, love wrestling or love MMA or love fighting. We'll do pretty good.
I can imagine because you say that, and that's exactly what I was till I finally started winning in wrestling. That makes total sense. You know, it was the amount of times you just begging a parent, like, do I really have to go to practice?
I have to go.
They're like, do
Yeah.
I have to go? I'm like, yes, you do. I paid for it.
Yep. Yep.
So speaking of that, well, how, wrestling, how's the weight cut? I don't really know what a weight cut entails or dieting for that long because, to tell you the truth, most of the time in high school wrestling, we weren't the best cutters, healthily anyway. It was more
Oh yeah, it's what
starving
we're
than anything.
unfortunately it's what we're known for the most.
Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting. So what do you do as a wrestler? But now you have 3 months, 2 months.
Yeah, so growing up, I didn't cut a whole lot of weight. I did a couple of times, and I'll never forget one. We did a national tournament out in Virginia Beach,
Hmm.
and I cut like almost 20 pounds as like a kid. Get out there, and this is to be on this national team. Get out there, and the morning of the tournament? They inform me that they hand me the big, about as big of a Gatorade bottle as you can get. They handed me two of them, and they're like, "We need you to drink these because we actually need you to weigh
Oh,
like a few pounds heavier so we can wrestle you a weight class above that."
yeah, of
And
course.
and I was like, oh, dude, I was eating grapes. Like I was just eating grapes for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for like a month or two as a kid. And I'm like, I
Mhm.
looked at that and I remember after that, I was like, I'm never cutting weight. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if the dude's a four-time undefeated national champ in my weight
Mhm.
class, we're gonna take him on. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, no weight cuts. They're not too bad. I like to start them. I don't believe in the whole like 10 pounds in one night before. Even like I said with my wrestlers that I was teaching. No, it's gradual. It has to be gradual. And so that's pretty much how I do it. I keep my protein high. You cut out all the fast foods, all that stuff, the soda, whatnot. Um, uh, Whenever I treat myself or come to a drink or something, it's always like a whiskey or something. I'm not pounding Budweisers. I know that's a lot of people's biggest rivals is
Mhm.
alcohol. And
Carbs.
so yeah, and so like carbs are low. We got to have them. Their energy, man. Lower on the sugars. But yeah, high protein. Keep that up because your muscles still have to be there. And then yeah, lower lower everything else. Keep protein high. Same grind. Like and I wouldn't even like, and again, man, like my MMA training, I train with a couple of local guys. We have a room here. Uh, and then I train down in Cedar Rapids with Eric Koch and his team. And it's not every week's pretty much kind of a fight week. Like we don't
Mhm.
really, we all enjoy fighting. We all like everybody that I have around me, we all enjoy the grind and and the bang and the anvil. But so it's I don't even want to say like coming into like the fight camp is much different.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, no, we all do it, so it makes cutting a little easier. But yeah, all I do is it comes down to food, and I just lower the other stuff, keep my protein high, and that's how we do it.
Nice. It sounds like I'm talking to Mike Dolce.
Yeah, right.
I haven't heard Arrow Coke in a long time. Yeah, I'm a big MMA fan. I've been watching since like Ultimate Fighter One. First thing I thought of, I can't, the first I haven't thought of a fight, but right away I thought of that big old tattoo, that green thing he's got down his arm and everything.
Yep.
Apparently,
Yep.
like, oh yeah, man, I haven't heard of Eric Coke in a long
Yeah, dude,
time.
he's got his chest all done. He's got both arms, his stomach,
Yep.
dude. He's fucking looking sick. So
I remember when he finally went up to 155 instead of cutting anymore. And that was a big, I remember you finally saw him big, but it's just being such an MMA fan, I'm like, oh wow, I haven't heard Eric Coke in a long time.
yeah,
But
no, dude's
nice,
a savage. Yeah,
nice.
I'm
That's
very
awesome.
blessed to have been able to. So I met him. I believe that a lot of things happen for a reason, right?
Of
Fate and
course.
stuff. My first fight was at Caged Aggression, and I shared a lock. I walked into a locker room and was trying to find a way. Everything's crowded.
Yep.
I walk in and like the room is already crowded. I'm like, well, I'm like, hey, is there room for another one in here? And it was his team. It was Eric's team, and they're like, yeah, man, come in. And then like kicked off my relationship with Eric and like the rest of the guys. And it's been, yeah, I've been working on trying to get by those guys for a while. And even though I travel down there and I'll spend weeks at a time for training with those guys, training with my local guys, David Hartline, Brandon Laufenberg. David used to fight back when I was a kid. He was like
Mhm.
the first local guy from here that fought. He's the only guy. And then Brandon Laufenberg, he luckily enough found us in the area and been training. And so for the most part of my career, it's been local guys. But yeah, then I was lucky enough to find Eric. And even with a handful of training with Eric, man, like I have, it's tweaked a lot. And yeah, like I get to train with him more and more all the time. So
Well, that's awesome. Well, you sound like you got a great head on your shoulders. You know, truth be told, this is the first time I'm meeting you. So
Yeah.
it was really nice. It was really nice talking to you, man. Do you have anything else you want to say before we close out?
I just want to say, yeah, I was just talking about him, but I want to say thank you to David Hartline. He
Mhm.
was my first MMA coach getting started. Without him, I was coaching myself for the most part. So without him, he's taught me a lot of my foundation, basic stuff. Um, Brandon Laufenberg, the local guy for coming in, fighting. He's had a couple fights now. For him coming in and being, giving me good tips and being a good body and helping me, stay straight. And then yeah, Eric Koch and his regulators, his team, bringing me in and letting me be one of those guys. I can't. Very very thankful for all the guys I've been surrounded by. A lot of greasy people out there, and I've been blessed to been able to surround myself and kind of cocoon myself with the right-minded people and the people that are pushing me forward and yeah, kind of helping me keep shooting my career forward. So
Oh, well, great to hear. Great to talk to you. I can't wait to see you on April 27th, and
oh
good
my god,
luck.
I
And
don't mean to cut you off. I almost, oh my god,
no, you're
she'd
okay.
kill me if I didn't. I was thinking only MMA.
Yeah,
Outside of just MMA, dude.
yeah.
No, without my fiance Danielle.
Oh, of
Um,
course, can't
nah,
forget
dude,
her.
yeah, those guys helped me like in the room and everything else. But if yeah, really, I think she knows she doesn't need me thanked, but I'll do it anyways. Although she'll be like, why don't you thank me? But no, Danielle, yeah, my fiance, dude. No, couldn't do any of this without her. Like days that like and any fighter that like listens to this or knows or whatever, like, dude, we just get days where we have like the best mentality, but then a lot of days we have like the worst mentality.
Yeah.
And on those days, dude, like there's yeah, man, like she's for sure been the bow to like shoot the arrow forward, like she's definitely helped me a lot of times from man, I don't know, and she's like, oh, shut up. Like, and
Yeah.
etc. Like I could go on about that forever. But yeah, no. Love her to death, obviously, and no, couldn't be doing what I'm doing without her. So
Well, it was nice to hear. Nice to hear a couple brownie points, at the end of the interview. It's always nice to put
yeah,
those in
right.
just for the fiance. That's always
Yeah,
fun. You
yeah,
can
for sure.
tell.
Hey, credit where credit's due, right? So
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, nice talking to you, man. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll talk to you very, very soon.
yeah, thanks. You too.
You're very welcome.